Hello my friends, and welcome to Caribou River. Today we're just out for a nice little nature hike. There are some waterfalls along this river. We're gonna see what those hold in store for us. The trail guide I read said you can't really access the river near the falls. You end up kind of looking at them from an overlook. Might be fine, I don't know, I haven't been here. We're gonna explore and we're gonna find out. But on our way up to the falls, we are going to just keep our eyes open and see what we find along the way. Today is a day of just staying open to possibility and see what we can find. And I think I found something right here. I got this great little rock, 3 little tiny trickles coming over the front edge of that. Beside it, I've got a bigger fall that's gorgeous, kind of running in near this giant boulder. See if I can get out into the middle of the stream for that shot. But the stream's deeper than I was anticipating. It is a river. And you know, so just kind of want to be careful of that, be aware of what's going on around me and not fall into the river. But yeah, I'm gonna explore this little section right here, get set up on a composition, and let's see what I can find, all right? Great. All right, my friends, well, I precariously waded my way out to the middle of the river here, and I've got this great little waterfall in front of me. Smallish rock on the right-hand side, kind of has this great, beautiful green moss. Huge boulder to the left, and the river's just kind of being forced into this little funnel and coming right at me. So I got this kind of great depth leading up to this tiny little fall, and it's great. Right now, we are shooting at an ISO 100 f9. We got 1/60th of a second. Polarizer on there. Take a little bit of the glare off the rocks. The reflections are all over the joint, so I can't get all of them, but I can get some of them just to kind of help take that glare off. It's also helping increase this contrast in the water as usual, just kind of taking some of the glare off the smoother parts of the water and letting that white foam pop through. The clouds are moving in and out, so I'm kind of waiting for the sun to be partially obscured by some cloud, just to kind of even out the whole exposure on the scene a little bit. I think we're going to end up with a 6-stop neutral density in there to slow down this shutter speed. Let's pop that in now and see where we wind up. That puts us at an 1/8 of a second. That's usually longer than I want it to be, but 1/8 of a second. There we go. My sun just went behind a cloud. Now I'm at 1 second. We're gonna try this, see what we like. It's usually too fast for my liking, but I might like it in the foreground. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna pop out a 6, go to a 3. That should give me around about 1/4 of a second maybe. And that's usually more to my liking, I find, with waterfalls, especially when they're moving this much. But let's try that and find out what we got. 1/6 of a second, that's pretty great. Yeah, and we like that quite a bit. Fantastic. That's our first shot of the day. Really simple and really pretty, and I like it. This is a great little river. Oh, sun's popping back out. Go away, sun. Nobody likes you. All right, there we are. There's our first shot. Nothing to do now but try to get back out of the middle of this river. Yeah. All right, here's another simple little shot. I just kind of actually found it when I walked up on this whole area, but on my way back from the middle of the river, the clouds had rolled in and kind of filled in this whole little scene a little bit. I had this reflection of a tree, probably, I don't know, 40 or 50 feet down the river, but it's reflecting in this pool really cool. and then all of the clouds up above it. So the shot is actually really pretty simple. Let me show it to you here in camera if I can. Sure I can, I'm sure I can, I'm sure I can. There it is. So there's the reflection of my tree, and you can see all the clouds in around the pool. And then we've got these little branches kind of kicking in from the side. But what I like about this shot are these little rock outlines of the pool. It just kind of looks like distant mountains and then this giant tree growing out of it. So my idea here is I'm gonna take this image and I'm just gonna flip it 180, like just upside down. So it looks like the tree is upright, there are all the clouds behind it. It's just kind of this weird little abstract shot that I think might be really fun. I'm gonna try it, and that's it. Yeah, and then as I look to my left here quickly, this tiny little waterfall might be great, fun little abstract shot as well. So I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna move 1.5 feet to my left and grab that. 3 shots in one area. That's pretty good. Let me tell you the technical side of this little shot. It's really simple. There is a polarizer on the water just to kind of actually help accentuate the reflection, because I want the reflection of the clouds. I'm focused on the reflection of the tree. I am shooting, once I get out of my movie mode, I am shooting at an ISO 100 f11 1/13 of a second. 2-second timer, click and done. That one's just really simple. And you know me, I like them simple. I prefer them simple. They don't always end up that way. I found Caribou Falls. That's pretty great. It's a big waterfall. That's awesome. It's fantastic. You access it by a little staircase, comes down the side of the hill, and it literally dumps you into the river. So I'm standing about shin high in a little pond here at the bottom of the falls. I'm gonna look around here, find a good composition to shoot back at this waterfall. Try to capture it. My clouds are rolling in, so my exposures are nice. No real out of control highlights. Everything should be great as long as I can find something pretty to point my camera at. I mean, I have something pretty to point it at. I gotta make it look interesting though, right? And that's the challenge. This huge pool though, right in front of it. But if I could back up just a little bit and get some of these cascading rocks that are right behind you in it as well, that would be fantastic. All right, on hunting we go. All right, so we're set up on composition number 1. A little bit into the water, have some beautiful rocks in front of me, a little bit of the cascading stream, and the big falls behind me, Caribou Falls behind me. And it's a great little scene. I'm going to show you a little kind of trick I'm doing. I'm shooting with a wide angle lens, just kind of, I don't know, just to capture a whole bunch of the scene, get the rocks in the foreground and the falls behind, just shooting a whole bunch of stuff. But what I'm doing is I'm actually tilting down a little bit more and forcing the falls into the top half of the frame. And what that does is it forces a distortion in the lens that you get with wide angle lenses. So you can see here are my falls. Here's everything in front, right? So this is the composition. And if I flatten this out and shoot straight on, those falls look pretty small. And I have this really great, beautiful, dramatic sky up above it, but the falls look pretty little. But if I tilt down a little bit and get that lens distortion going on, it makes that waterfall look bigger. And it gives me a little more dramatic foreground interest too. So I'm doing a focus stack and some exposure blends here. So I'm doing the focus stack to get stuff close to the camera in the foreground in focus. Another shot where I focus about in the midground, and a third shot where I focus on the waterfall. And I'm doing exposure blends as well. I'm doing almost 2 seconds on the water here in the foreground to get a nice cascading, silky flow to the water, but it's way too long for Caribou Falls, the big falls. There's a lot of water flowing over the edge, and if I go for 2 seconds, it just becomes a white, blurry mess. So shooting at 2 seconds for the foreground and the midground, shooting at about a 15th of a second for the waterfall. I'll also capture the waterfall at a 2-second exposure, maybe 1 second, just to get some of that cascading bridal veil feel. But I think a 15th of a second is going to be short enough for the amount of water that's coming over that waterfall. So we're going to take all those shots, 3 to 5 shots, we kind of blend them all together, and then we make one image. And hopefully we like it. Well, my friends, I think we're done with this bottom section of the falls. There are 2 more tiers to these falls up top. So we're going to move on ahead, forge ahead, and go take a look at those. Now, I think that there's no river access from the trail once you move up above these falls. So it may not be very interesting photographically, but it'll be something pretty to look at, I have no doubt. So let's explore on ahead. I gotta traverse back across this river, head up the stairs, and back down the path. So let's go. We're set up on this is a tiny little scene, and I really, really like it. We hiked up the river, and as I suspected, there are some overlooks built looking down on the river, and it's really pretty to look at. The falls are really gorgeous to witness, but it comes a very narrow slot canyon where the river, the Caribou River, is just rushing through there. So you can't get down to the river. It's not safe to get down there. So pretty to look at, no real opportunities for a photograph there. But wandering upstream here, I found this little scene, and it is little. It's just this kind of little side chute, tributary, coming around the rocks and then back into the main river behind me. But in front of me, I've got the little stream is just cascading over a couple of little rocks, coming down towards me, and then I've got this beautiful moss-covered rock right in front of me, a little piece of wood kind of laying out in front of that. So the shot's simple. It's going to be a focus stack just because I'm so close to this rock in my foreground. I'm going to do 3 shots, 1 focused on this rock, 1 focused about the middle of the image, and then another focus in the background just for safety. I'm going to shoot at an ISO 100, 1 second exposure, f8. I have polarizer to take the glare off this rock here in my foreground. 3-stop neutral density is giving me that 1 second exposure, just to give me that nice long blur of the water, that motion of the water that I like so much. Let me see here. I'll show you what we're looking at. Here it is. So you can see here is my rock here in the foreground. So we're going to do a focus on that. I'll take another focus way back here in that rock right there. And then I'll take another one on this fall back here. But this is the scene. I love this rock, this little piece of wood that's floating through here, little stream floating off to the left. It's just simple and pretty, and that's all there is to it. I like it. So we'll take those 3 images, stack them together, and this is what we ended up with. Just so beautiful. What a great day. Caribou River. Who knew? Well, I guess lots of people knew, actually. There's a trail that goes right by the river. But, oh, so beautiful. I had a great day. I came out here looking for a big epic waterfall, and I found it, and that was great. But along the way, I also found these other smaller little scenes that were equally great, and I appreciate them every bit as much as I do that big giant waterfall. I'm just happy to, stay open to the possibility, find the little things, and appreciate the little things. And that's just kind of what I'm taking away from today, is to appreciate the little things. You never know where they're gonna come from, or where you'll find them, or even what they are, but I'm happy for them today. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming along with me. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and tell your friends because the more the merrier. And if you'd like to see some more of my work, please head on over to my website, toddhphoto.com, and take a look. But from Caribou River, here in Duluth, Minnesota, so long, and we'll see you next time. So amazing.